Hey there, everybody. So, in the last episode, we learned events, the event blocks. Alright? So we learned events and all the different things you can do with events. So, in today's episode, is this episode 5? Episode 4? I'm not actually completely sure, but we will be learning the control blocks. So we'll learn all the things you can do with control blocks, and yeah, let's just get into it. Alrighty, so the first thing we have is wait 1 second, and really it's as simple as it looks. So you have wait, and then you can type in the amount of seconds. So you can do just about any number of seconds you want, except for I wouldn't go that far unless you're gonna have them wait an entire lifetime for it to do something. So yes, you can even do half seconds or not variables. You can do like 0.5, 0.1, 0.1, all these different things. And you don't even have to necessarily type in a value. You can actually drag in a variable, which will, wait however many. Another quick thing you can do, go to your operators, and you can actually do pick random 1 through 10. So it will wait a random number between 1 through 10. So let's say it randomly selects 7, it's going to wait 7 seconds. We'll get into more operators later on, but for now, here we are. So you have wait, and it basically just waits before moving on to the next block of code. So if I were to put repeat here, it would wait 1 second and then do repeat. Alright, so now we have our repeat. And so what this will do is you can actually put in a block inside of this repeat, and it will actually repeat that block however many times you want. You can also put a variable in here, or you can also put in the random. So let's go ahead and try it. So if we repeat 10, it should put us at the X position 100, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, there we go. So it almost looks a little bit smoother than just, going in normally just moving steps. And that's right, it is a little bit smoother, only because we are repeatedly one after another doing this. And so it's doing this pretty much real quickly, really fast, so that way it looks extremely smooth. So I'm going to set the X position back to 0. And so basically you just put in however many times you want to repeat code inside. Next we have forever. So what this does is it will always run this. Whatever's inside, it will forever run that until you press stop. Or at least until you do stop the script. Which we will actually get into in a minute. So yes, so here's something that I used to kind of get confused. I used to do repeat forever. So if you are going to have a forever loop, you do not at all need the repeat to be on the outside. It's already going to repeat forever. Now, what you can do is this. You can always repeat 10 or however many you want. That's perfectly acceptable, but don't do a repeat forever, because that is just very sloppy and it's unnecessary. I actually kind of regret doing that back when I first joined, but what more did I know? Next we have if and then. Okay, and you've probably heard this or used this before. This is another one of the most commonly used blocks, along with forever and wait. So basically, again, we have to get into some more operators, but you can say maybe if let's do this. Watch this. Okay, so maybe if I do 1 plus 1 equals 2, we will have it repeat 10 and then change x by 10. So let's see if it works. Yes. So because 1 plus 1 is 2, it comes back as true. That kind of rhymes, but so basically what the if and then will do is it will check if a certain statement is true, and if so, it will basically run whatever you have in there, and it will only run that if that statement is true. If it is false, it won't do it. So if I said if 1 plus 1 is 3, change x by 10, it wouldn't have done that, and it will never run that because 1 plus 1 will never actually be 3. So that's what that can do. You can do variables, like if certain variable is true, then, do that. Next we have if, then, and else. So, oh, what the heck? Where did that go? If, then, and else. So, here's what this will do. So, okay, here we go. So, if, then, and else. It's just like the if statement. The only difference is it will automatically detect if anything else is happening. So, here's common mistakes people do. Someone will do something like this. If whatever equals whatever, and then if not whatever equals whatever. Now, the only difference is there could be a wide range of possibilities, in which case you would have to keep doing, okay, now if not whatever. So, what you could actually do to make it a lot easier is do if something is true, and then if it is anything else other than true, it is already gonna run whatever's in here. So here's what I would do. Here's what I do sometimes. I do if backdrop number is 1, and that would be like my main menu. Then I would hide our player. So if backdrop number is 1, I would put hide here. And then else I would show, because that would be the game backdrop. And so that's what the if, then, and else can do, and it actually comes in handy. So, yes. Next we have wait until. And so it's actually what it sounds like. So you can put something in there, and basically it will wait until whatever statement you put in becomes true. So maybe if I say wait until I have a variable, let's say wait until my variable equals 15. It will pretty much wait and pause. It will pause and not move on to the next block until that statement becomes true. Everything else in any other scripts will keep running except for this one. It's pretty much the wait. Only difference is it will wait until something is true. Next we have repeat until, and some people get these two mixed up a bit. So the difference between wait until and repeat until is waiting until will completely just wait until something becomes true, and then it will do it. Now repeat until will repeat something, whatever code you put in, until something becomes true or false or whatever you want. So I could say maybe repeat until x position is greater than 50 and change x by 10. So if I tell it to repeat until my x position is 50 and then I put change x by 10, it will move our cat all the way over here until the x position is greater than 50, and it will then stop. So yes, that's what that can do. Next we have the stop. So not many people use this. It actually basically stop all is pretty much just a shortcut to this, pressing the stop button up here. So there's that, and then there is stop this script. And so whatever script it is, from the time you have when flag is clicked or when space is pressed or whatever, it will stop once your code runs from top to bottom all the way there. So if there's any repeats or any forever and this ends up in there and then it gets down to that code, it will completely stop that script. So yes. And then there is stop other scripts in Sprite. So it will continue playing that script specifically and then stop every other script that is in the sprite. So yes, these can come in handy sometimes. You might come across something when you might need to do this, but it won't be super common. Now, when I start as a clone, yeah, so we have when I start as a clone. First, let's get into create a clone, because we'll have to do that before we get here. So create a clone of myself. If you create another sprite, I believe you can actually clone that one. Let's see, create a clone of sprite 2. So basically what this does is it literally will create a clone of whatever sprite you want it to. So if I do this, boom, create a clone, boom. If I do this a couple times, there's going to be definitely a good amount of clones that we have. So yeah, you can create a clone of anything. And then you do when I start as a clone, and basically you control what the clone does. At the end, you might need to have the delete this clone. And so pretty much what that will do is once you're done running all the code that the clone will do, maybe you want the clone to disappear. So you'll just do delete this clone at the very end, and it will pretty much delete that clone. And so for every clone that there is, it will run this separately for that. It will run the when I start as a clone separately for every single clone there is. So yeah, cloning will come in handy sometimes, not all the times again, but it can be confusing if you don't use it right, and if you don't have something that will end up deleting the clone and you just constantly clone things, your game will get pretty laggy. So yeah, so there are all your control blocks. So if you guys have any questions on those or any help you need, just let me know. So we are going to get into some of the fun stuff now. We are going to get into sensing, operators, variables, and blocks. Well, my blocks. So yes, stay tuned for that. If you don't want to miss an episode, be sure to subscribe if you want. It'll just keep you up to date. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next tutorial. Bye.